Hi, it's Yakuza. It's Halloween season. Spooky, scary skeletons shiver down my Sorry. And I am not making a Halloween scary video. Or at least not right now, anyways. I was too busy watching Final Space. Ooh, and nobody showed it, nobody watches, but you know what? I'm still gonna talk about it. It's an anime show that aired on TBS, which is literally just like Guardians of the Galaxy, but like, I don't know. I'm being so honest, it really is just Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. I can't lie, it literally is. I started watching this after making nice like Guinevere videos on the channel. And around that time, there was this thing with Frankie on the show that it turns out that like Frankie was actually not a trans woman. And everyone was upset because people thought that Frankie was trans. And people are upset. This is because like looking at Frankie's character, she does have like a masculine appearance, and a lot of people just assumed that she was just going to be trans in the show. This is also being with her name being Frankie or Franklin. I would get it partly because she doesn't fit the stereotypical appearance of like a woman would be in life. Sorry, women. But just because a person doesn't fit the stereotype doesn't mean they have to be trans or like any other classification of sexuality, race, spectrum, or whatever. Like if I go up to a woman in a gym and she was built, I'm not gonna go up to her and be like, "Hey, bro, you trans?" Like, no, they're gonna look at you crazy. But no, people are just really disappointed and just mad over the fact that she's just not canonically trans. As of this video, I don't know, maybe like later down the line, the interns is just gonna be like trans and then people look back at me and be like, well, HI-YAKUZA, you know, shut up, niggas, I didn't know. And well, while watching Final Space, the main character of the show, I was talking to him with like a friend, and I was like, bruh, this main character has ADHD. Oh my gosh, he's just like me for real. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like he was just very hyperactive, impulsive, and I just like how that character just had that quirk with him. Then when I looked it up, it turns out he doesn't actually canonically have ADHD. I just assumed because he was just very ADHD coded. Like he'd just be jumping from one thing to another, speaking every single thing that comes to mind, and doing this so rapidly and just not that much thought. I just assumed, but no, he's not. But as a person that has those type of tendencies, I still feel like some sort of relation to that character, even if it's not canon. Just with them being coded is just good enough. So what is coded? Let me just explain that real quick because I don't know, even though it really shouldn't be explained, whatever. Coded is a character having traits that would suggest their identity without specifically mentioning it. So while Gary from Final Space is not confirmed to have ADHD, he's still ADHD coded, with things that would make people suggest that he is. Same way that Frankie, with her having a masculine appearance and traits that yes, would suggest that she would be trans and she is trans coded, but in the end of the day, it's not, because according to Dave Terrence on Twitter, she is not. Bit. Some people may look at this and be like, well, if she's not really trans or has ADHD, or if a character isn't canonically this and that, then what's the point, nigga? I mean, people like to see representation, and also it is very important, by the way, representation is important. Anyway, sorry. People like to see representation in films with characters because they are like them. Like, if I see someone that's LGBT on the screen, I feel represented. Oh my god, my words? Okay. Like, if I see someone on LGBT... Gosh! Like, if I see someone that is LGBT on screen, I feel represented because in the side of being LGBT, they may face some issues and struggles and ideas that I also deal with as well. And hopefully will help guide me and learn and understand the other perspective by the time which the movie or film or whatever is over. Fudge! You good, bud? I don't know what's wrong, shut up! But if someone isn't exactly the personality that I align with, how would they necessarily go through the same problems that I go through? Is being kinda like this diversity the same thing as, you know, being this kind of diversity? Like, is being kinda like ADHD the exact same of just being ADHD or having ADHD, sorry. To answer that question, no, it's not exactly the same, but I wouldn't say it's all cut and dry. Just because someone doesn't have the exact story that you have doesn't mean there isn't some type of tendencies that the character does go through that a person that is aligned with or actually is coded with the AKA like spectrum or LGBT race or whatever. It doesn't mean that whatever a character is going through isn't matching the same emotion someone with and an actual identification of what was listed. Like Gary from Final Space isn't ADHD, but it doesn't mean him dealing with impulsive decisions isn't the same as someone that actually has ADHD. Like Frankie, with her name just being like, Frankie Franklin. Someone that's probably trans will probably change their name to something more masculine like Frankie or Franklin. Having more of a masculine name in a situation where it just fits. Not even this, but you can apply this to like characters like throughout films where the last minute of like a show or movie that confirms the character to be some sort of sexuality or gender. Like you feel this way because of their code. And even though you didn't know, there's like something in the back of your head where like, okay, like there's still a brighter side to like coded characters. So I don't think that people should feel upset because one of their characters isn't confirmed to be something. Hell, for the longest time, all we had for most characters in media was just them being coded because studios were too pussy to, put a label on them. So yeah, that's all I have to say, and I'm gonna go work on a Halloween video soon. I was gonna write a little fun video essay about it, but then I thought, this would be more of a better video. Also, I don't think a lot of people watch Final Space anymore, so that's kind of like dumb. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. I don't really ask it a lot, but I heard that it really helps. It's a really small channel, and it'll just mean a lot. And well, Yakuza out!
We love you, Steven.
I love you too.
Come on, Ida. You know where magic comes from.
Please, Mum, we've been here since I was born. It's literally the best place